welcome. Please remember you live on Spaces. You need to for TV talks again. Writing for FLI, we will be hope joining. It will be production.
But to clarify, I think I'm still in the, I left the youth bracket last year.
Gen Z, millennial.
A youth that must be known, but it comes with a lot of experience. It comes with a journey that I have come with to share. And a disclaimer, what I'm sharing here is my story. I don't, but like you know a journey. When someone tells you I drove from Iran to Kampala, do not say, oh, by the time she said that there was Lukaya, and for you, when by the time you get there, maybe Lukaya is no longer there. So I'm just telling you my story. Pick what you can use, and the rest just trash it, because we have totally different journeys. So I've come here for you, and please drop in all questions you want answers, and whether am I getting married, that is, I will not answer. So we are here for practical business, we're here for practical guidance, and what else can I say?
Maybe you can tell our audience and ourselves, who is Jackie before you became Madam CEO? Who is Jackie? Before the titles, who is or who was Jackie before she became the Madam CEO?
She was a stubborn fella that was at university. He started at the university. Like any other university, you just scattered. Career guidance is not something strong in our schools, in our setup. So in the system, all you do is what your parents tell you. So I went in for social work, and at campus I was jumping like anyone. I would attend classes, but along the way, when I joined tourism Uganda, and when I joined Miss Tourism Uganda, polish my English, I had to polish how I look, I have to polish everything to know what should I do. So at that level, that is when I was introduced to the corporate world. Then I became a presenter.
Ooh.
Yeah, a radio presenter. In fact, when I became a presenter, my voice, people used to say, but I think that's a fat, tall lady. Jesus, look at me.
Look at you. Look at you, Jackie. Can we first compliment the beautiful Jackie? You look very nice. You dress very nice. Actually, I read somewhere before the show, and you were being described as the high-heeled CEO. And the pun was intended because the person was mostly referring to high-flying. But they said you were always wearing heels. And at some point, you also confessed that even from university days, you are that overdressed. I hope our camera can focus on Jackie's dressing for a second so we can see that you can be hot and brilliant and knocking doors and kicking turning stones.
Imagine at campus I was already wearing 6-inch. Right now
Yes,
I'm wearing
yes.
5-inch, but I used to wear 6-inch. Now you can imagine short as I am.
Keep it up. Yeah. Keep it up, Jackie. We like. So we'll come to that bit of branding in the next segment. But let's hear from Bakash. Bakash, one, I like your name. The Bakash, whether it's the brand, it's quite catchy. I call myself Nanza from a very long name, so I believe there is a reason how Bakashaba became Bakash.
Yes.
Who is Bakash?
Isaac Bakashaba is my real name, of course, that's my name. And Bakash Media is the brand. And the team lead and founder. Bakash came up in high school because they could not pronounce Bakashaba. People from
It's actually Bakashaba or Bakashaba Ruhanga.
that's it.
See, it's even longer.
Yeah, but Bakash, so people would not pronounce Bakashaba Hang, and it was a long name. So also there's a big story around that name because my parents.
No.
No, but shortly, my elder brother was born with a problem of eyesight. So when it was my turn, because
To
I
be
thought,
born?
yes, they prayed so much so that I'm born with a very clear sight. So and it happened. So they said, yes, we prayed, and it came to pass. So
Bakashaba.
Bakashaba,
Yeah.
they prayed.
We prayed for.
Yes, for this. So I can really clearly see them.
Can we say that you are not just born with physical eyes, but because you are a visionary, from my information, you have been a visionary, and that's why, if I am correct, I stand to be corrected, you've never been employed.
Yes. Actually, so in 2019 at Makerere University, that was my second year. That's when I founded Bakash Media Foundation with my colleague Bruno, who is a co-founder. And since then, when I left in 2022, I really got into the work of Bakash Media Foundation up to now. So that's what I do for a living, and that's what I'm doing currently.
Thank you, Isaac. Oh, Bakash. I will call you Bakash for this because I really like the name. Because you are the social media person,
Yeah.
are you able to distinctly break down what social media and social capital are? Are they the same? Are they different? Is there a thin line? Are they cousins? Because in the era of throwing around words, it's what they call lost in translation. To have social capital, do I have to have social media? So Bakash, run with it.
Thank you so much, Naza.
Lanza, yes.
Yes. First, I want to thank Fidelis for really having us this evening. Fidelis is our great partner at Bakash Media Foundation, and I love the work they're doing of nurturing leaders and the coaching they're doing to really instill the critical thinking among leaders today. And I think this is something we don't learn at school, but I'm glad I'm so grateful for Fidelis that is doing this part. And Fiona was having discussions with her earlier today, and she told me, the feedback is quite well. This is your second cohort. This is really amazing, and I'm glad that the public is really seeing the value of what Fidelis is doing. About the topic, yes, it's so different. So one is an enabler of social capital, and that's social media. So it enables people to connect globally, and but there's one thing that social media does, that is, it creates this false perspective that people are really close or are their friends. So I may follow you, you follow me back on Twitter, we have conversations, hi, how are you, and you believe that's your close friend or that's the social capital you can bank on always. But I think that's not the case. Social media should just be an enabler of people to communicate. But real social capital is building this trust with someone you've just met, the stranger. So I believe social capital is this valuable currency of relationships and networks that one builds over time. And this is, I think, something that has helped me so much in all the work I've been doing since I left university, even when I was at university. So social media should just enable us to really have a strong relationship with someone. So because social capital may really die out, and why people maybe fall out at some point is communication. And now if you can be able to commit to constant communication with your friend or with someone you've met, on how you communicate and how you know the person, your expectations in that relationship is what really matters. And social media now is the best way to communicate to someone. And
is it?
Yeah, it is, because you can.
You started with a disclaimer that it is not
yes,
real.
But it really sparks interest. I mean,
sparks interest. Does
yes,
it maintain and grow?
It does definitely. Because
that means we have strategies around there.
Yes, because we may not meet daily. We are so busy people. That's what we say. But how you communicate with someone over time, it really builds this trust and what you really share. Someone who's okay, this person maybe always shares about work related or party. So someone will take him that way. So this enabler, which is social media in this case, you really have to be so keen on how you use it so that you maintain that relationship with this person you're really interested in.
Thank you, Isaac, for bringing out the relationship between social capital and social media. I think it's clear, it's neither or, but one is an enabler.
Yeah.
We will get back to that in a minute, but I'll go to the Madam CEO.
Yes.
When I sit here and look at your portfolio, at your young age and whatever age, it's easy for us to say, of course, she's Jackie Arinda, she's the Madam CEO. Social and Jackie are born and bred in the same bakery because of personality.
Yeah.
He's talked about the importance of communication, and we know that we are all gifted differently.
Yeah.
So, would it be okay to think that social media as an enabler to social capital accumulation can be for certain people who are naturally born with a socializing streak, the ones we call sanguines, cholerics, the reds, the yellows, because the world is not yellow and red. We do have people who really have things to offer to the world, very good leaders who are just thoughtful and introverted. What would you say to someone who appreciates and understands that this is a social media, social capital era, but has personality hold up? Yes, Jackie.
Yeah, I think to me, social media is a big thing. Social media is a platform which you cannot avoid. And why am I saying this? Is that social media is a platform where discussions start and they can escalate, understand it. Doesn't matter whether you want it or not. If you've been in that space, it is easy for you to defend yourself. It is even for you to navigate, okay? You might be on social media, for example. There's so many users. I think Uganda now has about 1.2 million users on Twitter. So imagine if there are those ones that have accounts just to monitor, the way you have cameras in your home. So that you every day. Yes, they are there. They are monitoring. They know how to navigate in case there is anything. And they keep up with the debate. So there are those ones that are engaging. You throw something on them. When I had just joined, I used to have like a battalion. You come after me, I hit you. You come after me. But now you come after me, I just go to your profile and I'm like, no, this I have no time. You come after me with a discussion, I choose. Either
so
to go to your
method to the madness.
Yeah, whether I go to your DM or I come back to the comment. Now, at this level, I can say even those ones that are monitoring, if you've noticed that a discussion starts on Twitter or it starts on Facebook or Instagram or even TikTok and it goes straight to the president. And I'm not talking about Uganda, I'm talking about White House, I'm talking about State House, I'm talking about different, to the parliament floor. Why is it that for you, you still think you cannot use it?
Jackie, you can think, but we're talking about people who are innately not extroverted, who have personality types.
Yeah, but what we are talking about is war. You see, when you go to war, you're not going to say, you see, me, I don't like using...
sweating. I don't like running.
Pistols. It's so much. You think I want an AK-47. What I'm trying to say here, Mariam, is once you are attacked, if your brand goes there, believe me, you should hire. You don't have to be there. We've seen people who have totally... In fact, you should... As experts now, we can tell that Mariam's account is managed. Because when we meet Mariam, you start having a discussion with Mariam. You realize, but this English here and the reasoning is not the same
on the page.
On the page.
So do we have social media personalities?
Yes, that is what we say.
Should we be one way in real life? And maybe we'll come to that. Do we have to have a social media personality and then the real us?
It depends on what you're looking for when it comes to social media. What exactly are you looking for? If you're the kind of person who wants to build a personal brand, then to me, if I'm even allowed to give an opinion to that person, is that you should watch out, because people will know. If you're building a personal brand, then you need to be there by yourself. As much as you will have other people managing it for you, you need to be there. But if it is a company brand, let other people manage it. But once in a while, scroll through, go through it, and see what is happening on those streets. So that the next time you're in a boardroom and your PRO tells you that, I think this is the time where you need to keep quiet. Here we don't react. This is the time for us to react. You will understand. It is not photosynthesis to my grandmother. I don't know whether you click. So whether you like social media or you don't,
You have to use it.
you have to use it. Doesn't matter whether it is you is running the account
Or an agent.
or an
agency.
agent running the account. But you need to know that an agent, by the time they bring a proposal, they bring a strategy, you're able to understand why they need that strategy.
Thank you,
That is
Jackie.
it.
Thank you very much. I think she brings it out so well that social media as an enabler for social capital is here with us. Viewers, we are live on YouTube, FLI. We are live on X Spaces. We are live on Smart 24. Please join us, send in your views, your comments, and anything you want us to describe along the lines of social capital. Thank you very much, Jackie.
You're welcome.
I come to you, Bakash.
Yes, please.
You are the panel expert on this digital thing because you've done it and you do it for a living. In the same breath with the person who has personality challenges, or let's say they are bad because social media is still a thin line. Like we said, it is neither here or there for some people. We know there are still professions that are not allowed to be that overt. Doctors and lawyers at this point cannot leverage as much as they would the social media space.
Yes.
Are there other ways to garner social capital outside of social media?
Yes, yes. And those other ways I'm going to talk about, I think, are the most crucial ones. How I've built my social capital over time, it has been through networking events or forums that that bring different people from different areas. So I believe those are more authentic because you get to meet a person, you discuss, remember you've come for an event for a certain cause. Maybe it's a fundraising event, maybe it's an association, maybe a school gathering, something like that, or volunteer work. So you get to meet people with the similar ideas like yours, people who are really fostering what you're really looking for, and people who
Face to
share
face.
great values, and you really admire them. And you see someone on the panel speaking so well and really so articulate, and I really admire that person. So I would reach out to him. Oh, so thank you, this was so great. So we build that rapport, and I believe that's so authentic than maybe sending a high message on social media and really.
So
reading through
if
your
I
profile.
hear you, Isaac, you're saying social media is a starting point. It's a catalyst. A wise person will start at social media level, but take it a little further to build a workable, functional relationship.
Yes, yes, yes. And you may not even start on social media. I mean, you can know someone, those who are not on social media, but the bankable people you meet over time at forums, at doing the volunteer work, I think then the communication can be carried on social media, and then someone can check out, okay, I met this person today, but I've also seen them on social media, so they go through and see what you share and how you really relate with people. And so I believe those avenues really create a strong bond between people to know that, okay, if I need maybe someone tell me 90, I will contact Isaac because I saw him at an event, really is so good at this and that. So at these networking events, I'm talking about events, maybe
Webinars,
webinars and all these forums. I've been
Twitter,
to,
X Spaces.
yes, 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 Twitter Spaces. I'm currently doing Twitter Spaces, okay, X Spaces now, as we call it nowadays. You get to meet people, great people with great ideas, and when you hear them speak, you're really so amazed and okay.
But do we agree that that's just a catalyst? It would be very naive for someone who's building social capital to only leverage and focus on social media because it robs you of the ability to get to know the groundwork. Because we all present our best selves. There's something called a highlight reel. Rarely do you find people giving their real reels So it can also mislead. I think we agree with the panel that social media as an enabler for social capital development is but a starting point. We are rounding up that segment for social media because we need to give it a break and bring some va boom. I didn't warn you about this, but we're going to have some fun things to talk about.
But
So we'll start on the easy part.
okay.
You look a bit tense, so I'll go to Jackie.
No, it's okay.
Jackie,
Bring it on.
you have an option. What are you listening to in terms of podcasts? What's on your playlist? I mean, maybe why? Is it something you've always listened to? Do you change? So what's on your podcast? Which podcasts are you listening? Local or international? What's on your playlist?
Surprisingly, I don't.
You don't do podcasts?
No,
Wow, okay.
no, I don't.
What are you doing on social media other than fighting wars, quote unquote, as you
Okay.
said?
For me, I think I'm more into the old version of books.
Okay,
and
which books are you reading?
Like docuseries, because I think podcasts, I don't know, I have not found one. Maybe you can
So
recommend.
which
But on social media, why would you say, back to the question of apart from fighting wars?
You said it yourself. I'm quoting you back to you. You
That-
said you were just...
Yeah, I say no fighting wars. Actually, I'm on social media for coffee. If you've seen something different, you'll see coffee in every tweet. However, you asked me, let's look at the list of books, or we look at the list
Well, whatever
of
it is that is in
docuseries.
season for you, what are you doing in that space, whether it's a playlist, a podcast?
Social media or social, because social media and social capital are totally different.
Social
so in
media
terms of,
wise, yes.
Oh,
Who are you listening to? Who?
well, currently, I noticed that, I don't know if you've watched the entrepreneurial quotes. It's on TikTok. If you follow them, you will see they give you strategies of how to navigate when in terms of social capital, in terms of changing your kind of mindset into an entrepreneurial world. So entrepreneurial quotes, every time I wake up, I have to check if there is something new to watch.
So your choice
Now,
too, we can say
Twitter.
is TikTok, Twitter?
Yeah. Now, for Twitter, I have specific pages that I wake up every morning, I think at around 8, 9, that I have to check. These ones, if I mention these people, they might feel proud. But Hillary is...
Give them their flowers. Give them their flowers.
No, because I know you guys, like I told you, wars on Twitter are always there. But Hillary is...
Hillary
Bamlinde
Bamlinde,
is
okay.
one of them. I have a notification button for Hillary Bamlinde because I know every time I wake up every day, you find Hillary has brought out something, and I like reading his tweets, but also the engagement down there gives you, I think, a glimpse of what young people we are going through. And then on Instagram, I'm more into tourism now. On Instagram, I'm into...
So you're looking at destinations.
Not destinations as in for you, if thinking
Where
about...
you want to go for your next holiday.
for vacations. But me, I look at it because I want to go into real estate.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm always looking at what is new, what are people working on, because that is my other investment that I would like to invest in. Now, let's go to our books. Now, this book is kind of weird. I recently even shared it last time, Angels and the Devils. When you read that book, it is just about a story. You know, when you read about more of stories, you see how people reason, how people walk out of some things. So it shows you that both the spiritual world that we believe in and even the world that we are in, somehow they are connected. And I am a spiritual person. I believe. So I have to pray. You know, sometimes you're fighting wars with the people, but then there are those wars with the Holy Spirit. Two, I don't know if you've seen the rules of management, because management is the biggest, I think, hard thing in entrepreneurship, management.
Solomon. Mukuba straight to 5.
Okay.
So we built a platform where we are bridging the link between young professionals and the industry experts, so the change makers of our society. So that's why we hold career meetups. That's why we have career magazine that is a compilation of the career literature for young professionals. So we are nurturing these young professionals into this career space.
Thank you very much. I realize these social entrepreneurs are not really being social like we expect Gen Zs to be. You're all watching serious stuff. No one has talked about Netflix and chill. No one.
Oh no, I do watch Netflix. In fact, I've watched Fair Play, which is more
very
Fair Play. I think I've watched Fair Play, which I like. I have also watched. There is another Diplomat.
Diplomat
is a good thing.
So
I've also watched. It's called what?
Because we wanted to see you outside, Madam CEO, outside CEO founder.
But on that note, before I think, I don't know how much time we have, but there's something, when you talked about social capital, there's something that I had prepared for anyone who is listening out there.
Okay.
One was that for you to accumulate social capital and make use of it, you must understand whether you're on the weak point. Why? The weak point, by definition, is that do you need those people more than they need you?
Okay.
The moment you know that, then you will do more. For example, if you were scheduling a meeting with Bakash, and you know that Bakash, at the end of the day, at the end of that coffee that you have, Bakash will walk away knowing that, no, I'm not in for this. But you're the person that needs Bakash. So you have to do more. So even when Bakash says he's busy, don't take it for granted. Don't be pissed. Don't say, you know, Bakash is a very difficult person to look out for. Why? Because even Bakash has other people.
Priorities.
No, has other people he's chasing equally. And you are not that person. So if he says he's busy, keep on pressing and saying, when are you available?
Just like in real life, you can have social media mentors, but you have to follow the principles remain.
You have to. Number two,
thank you.
Social capital is investment.
Exactly.
It's
Can I just
time.
Put you right there, because that's the next segment. It's like you picked in my notes.
Yes.
I was coming to you, the next segment, with social capital, because it's not just a word, an English word. Capital, like Jackie has ably said, it has some level of investment. In economics, we are always thinking return on investment.
Yeah.
I think anyone who has done any level of education has a fair idea. Put in this, take out that.
Yes.
But I would like us to take it from another angle, because knowing our backgrounds, that need no repetition here on this panel, especially with FLI, where we deal with leaders who deal with real life stuff. By the time you become faithful, teachable, and available, it means you have gone through what we call life.
Yeah.
So the next segment on social capital we are going to talk about, instead of return on investment, and this, Jackie, will be your baby, because without going into your background, we know that you have come a long way. And I want to call it return on failure. If there is such a thing, the cost of social capital, because everything we do, like Franklin Covey says, see the end from the beginning. The Bible tells us, count the cost. You don't go in blindly if you're a strategist, if you're wise, if you've been around long enough. So with all the few things you've said about controversy, about putting yourself out there, about standing on your truth, the first disclaimer you made, you said, my truth, my story, if you don't
Yeah.
believe it, what is the return on failure? What is the payoff for daring this thing called social capital?
Well,
If you have any personal experiences, please, this is the point where we share.
I think to me, as a person, when I turned 24, practically, I believe that from childhood, wherever you are, doesn't matter the stage you're in, from kindergarten, you are trying to befriend your seatmate. That's what we used to do. You do not go beyond your seatmate. You do not go beyond your people that you play with during break time. Now, as we went to secondary, now we were nurtured because by then you have adolescence, you have hormones are playing on you. So you have your inner self playing tricks on you. And now you are bringing other people in that space. By the time we got out of secondary, we had learned, to know that, you know what, as much as I don't like Mariam, the way she laughs, the way she talks to me, but I have to stomach it. Why? Because I need a friend who is good at math.
Okay.
By the time we went out of secondary, we had known that there's some things you have to stomach when you're with other people. They're not going to be the cup of cake. They're not going to be your cup of coffee every day. But you need them for a bigger thing. Now, when we went to campus, we wanted people we could hang out with. And lately they call them vibes, good vibes. Someone you can smile with, someone you can talk to, someone that you can call, hey, can we hang out till morning? And then they're available. Someone you can even say, can you pay the bills? And they pay the bills. That's what campus was all about for me anyway. Now, after campus, then you notice that, wait, now we are moving to a working world, okay? Now, the kind of world that is in employment, it's toxic. There is politics because everyone wants to get to the top. You get? Everyone now wants to get to the top. And now you're in a work environment where you need to learn that apart from your father and mother at home, because those are the people that you respect so much, you understand? So the people you respect very much now are you're out of your space. Now you're in another person's house and you have to obey the rules, your boss. And then you have a colleague who is teaching you, because from campus, we know the Uganda, sometimes, I was a social worker, I went into media. So you have to learn from someone. So now that is where we say, how do you build your social capital? When you're building social capital, it is not just that you will just pick anyone. No, you will pick people just the way you wake up. From Ibanda, I know I'm going to Kampala. So if there is a bus saying it's going to Kasese, I'm not going to bother that. That is how social capital is. I like you so much. Yes, I know the bus is going to Kasese, are very comfortable, but me, I will join my Ibabu from Ibanda to Kampala. Why? Because no matter how comfortable the buses going to Kasese are, me, I'm going to Kampala. So that is where you come and say, now I need Mariam to teach me how to live. Now when you, along the way, I want you to know that Mariam might have been for that stage, for that time. So Mariam might not continue with you with the journey. The problem we have in building social capital is that you think the people, the friends you made in primary, you're going to stick with them up to the top. At the same time, when you had them and you were investing 5 hours, you think now you're going to still be with them 5 hours. No, you can grow out of people. So
you heard it from the Madam CEO.
Yes. So that is why when it comes to return of failures, like you said, I think what is important is that before you feel like you're shedding off someone, before you feel like you're tired of this person, ask yourself whether the reason why you had them, and people must know, this I'm telling you, you will be used and you're going to also use other people. Now, the question is, what is the definition of what I'm trying to describe here being used? I'm not talking about sleeping with other people. I'm not talking about, people stepping on you. What I'm trying to say is you will stomach a lot. The way I will befriend Mariam, knowing Mariam is the friend that I'm going to learn how to walk, learn how to talk, learn how to penetrate. And Mariam is also going to learn something from you. Now, when we learn things And now at that stage, I am no longer learning anything from Mariam. It doesn't mean that I'm going to drop Mariam. I will keep Mariam. But at that point, did you pay Mariam to do that? No. Did they pay you? Now, what happens when it is one way, where it is you learning from Mariam and Mariam is not learning something from you?
So if I hear you well, Jackie, you have actually done this in a duality, and I thank you because it's saving us time. You have talked about the returns, but by first understanding the costs, what social capital is going to cost us. That whole adaptability of what it is you need, defining the need, where you're going to get it from, knowing when to switch gears, basically having a strategy at every stage based on what you want to achieve.
But do not drop people. You can reduce on the hours you spend with them and have, because if you have about 100 people, Mariam, all your life, now you had 15, now you have to balance.
Is it even
That is why I recommend people for coffee. I say, call Mariam, just
There
take
you
them
go.
on coffee to show them that you're still in touch.
In touch.
I have a friend, my sister, we usually go for ice cream. I tell her, you know what, can we go for ice cream? Why? Because you need to keep these people close. You need to keep them in touch. Why? Because if Mariam, there is an opportunity, I might forget you because I've not heard from you in a long
ages.
time. So what I do is that when I keep you close, someone all of a sudden says, by the way, there is this opportunity. Have you heard about it?
All right. Thank you, Madam
Yeah.
CEO. I like the name, and I'll come to Bakash on the same question for one simple reason.
Yes.
What has been your price? What has social capital cost you?
It's a lot.
Yeah, we'd like to hear it. Our audience would like to know. We are discussing social capital. We have two social entrepreneurs in the house, and we want to debunk and break down what social capital is. In the first segment, we saw it that it is enabled, social media and social capital, while they are confused. One is an enabler or a driver for the other. And we have discussed personality types. We have talked about our own experiences in building, especially with these two social entrepreneurs. Now we are talking about the cost. The return on investment that we call in economics can be the return on failure, because we know social media and social capital is very slippery ground. Jackie just called them streets. I have asked her what her price has been and what her returns have been. Now we are asking the Gen Z millennial, who seems to have been born in this era. He was born breathing digital spaces and Twitter spaces, AI, things we've had to learn. What has been your price? What has been your cost?
Social capital. We can have this conversation till morning.
Yes, what has it
Because
cost
this is
you?
something as this is my net worth.
Net worth.
Something I've leveraged on over time. And, I had this discussion with Fiona. I wish she was here, but in my early days of networking, that was at university. It was really hard. I would meet someone, let me say, Jackie, I like what she does, I see how social media, going places. And so I would come with all this networking anxiety and be all over her, texts, calls every time. So yet maybe I don't have, there's a mismatch in expectations. Maybe I need Jackie for something, let me say money. And Jackie's seeing something different from me. So I believe first networking comes with time constraints. It will take time.
It takes time to
It will
build
take time
what
to build
networks.
trust with someone you've just met today. Someone will have to know you, someone will really have, with time, to really know that this person, I can really rely on him, and I can really do anything and can open up to him, my personal life, my family. So I remember in my early days of meeting all these friends I have around nowadays that I met in Kampala, because in Nakaseke, yes, I had, of course, childhood friends and school friends I can. But I was meeting all people in the age of my father, and I'm building this relationship with them. I want them to really guide me, to grow my brand, to really support me in all that I'm doing. And so one thing about networking, and even I think Fiona told me that one day, said, don't just foster your expectations of what you want from them. Just also listen to theirs. Yes, this person has experience, has done a lot, you're just young. And so all you're doing is like, I want you to tell me this, I want you. But also listen to them. It's a two-way thing. It's a win-win.
So the first cost, if I hear you, is time. We have to be willing to put beyond virtual time
Yeah.
to reach out again where we started from. You can make the initial contact using social tools, virtual tools, but there is still a need for human connection if you're
Yes.
going to build meaningful and long-lasting capital.
Yes. Another thing, yes, I told you it's a win-win. So it should not be that all I need from Jackie is Jackie to help me all the time. I should really bring value to Jackie.
So
It
there's
should
a
also-
bit of exchange, a give and
Yes,
take.
yes,
So you
yes.
have to have
I should
something you're
bring-
offering
Yes.
if you're going to gain from this
So,
relationship.
Jackie may have like 1,000 people who really request for help or for her kind or any kind of help. So I should not be also in that position. I should bring value on the table. Jackie should look for me in case she needs something that I'm good at. So if let me say I'm
So
good at-
time, duality of exchange, actual
Yes.
value for value.
Yes, yes.
What else?
So
Because we are quickly running out of time.
oh, we are out
No,
of
we
time.
have one more segment and we need to. So
That's
it has
networking.
cost you
Authentic.
time.
It has costed me time. Oh my God! I remember I would call people and they not pick up text and they
Now they look for you.
But yes, because of time, people have said, okay, this person I
It's
think
credible.
Is authentic. He is credible. I think it's not all about that what I have. He wants to tap into all what I have, but also he wants to build this relationship.
I'm
What-
told you're one of those people who, very important people in this town, know by first name basis. You meet them and they say, "Hi, Isaac."
So that takes time. That takes time. And now,
Oprah
As-
says, you know, you have arrived when you're known by first name basis.
yes, but also Jackie also talked about it. When you know I can't use this one. Okay, you're an underdog in this friendship.
In this relationship.
Yeah. So you should really know your limits. So don't think that because you're a friend to a minister, you expect a minister's busy schedule, he will always call you fast or what, or whenever he doesn't pick your call or return.
So
text.
there are lanes on
Yeah,
these
lanes,
streets.
you should know.
On these streets of social
Yes.
media, there are lanes. Jackie, do you
No.
agree?
Yeah, I totally agree. I
Their
mean, like,
lens.
their lens is saying it. It means that, like I told you, the person you're chasing has other important people that he's also chasing. So you must also know that.
Okay.
Ogenda Mpora.
So especially to most of us who think, actually, Bakash, this is going to come to you quickly as we end this segment,
Yeah.
about numbers. The numbers we see on these social media platforms, are they equivalent to social capital? Because if I can bring back the latest incidents of the battle that was, one contender said, I have X number of followers, so I'm the biggest in this thing. The king was saying they are king by virtue of the numbers. No, the queen. And the king was saying, I don't care about your numbers because they are logarithm generated. They said don't believe everything you see. Should we really believe the social capital based on numbers? Quickly speak to the logarithm and all.
Not really. You may have numbers work for influencers because the client will say, okay, you have 10K followers, I'll give you business. But also they matter at some point. Someone will say, okay, who are you?
What are you about?
Yes, who subscribes to you, who follows you, who listens to you, the people you attract.
So if
around
I
you.
have 10,000 followers because I am tagged to Alien Skin, and I have 100 followers because I'm tagged to Vusi, we were talking about Vusi.
the numbers to those of
The 100 of Vusi might count more than the 10,000 of, what do you think, than
I
of
think
Alien Skin?
social capital is totally different from social network. I mean, social media. So yes, you might have 30,000 numbers on social media, but in terms of social capital, it's a different actually thing. But what social media does is that it is rare. For example, I'll be open to you and they can misquote me all they want. If I'm having a discussion and you abuse me, I'll go to your profile. If I find your numbers are in the 200, well, I don't even bother to even
Because you
respond
have
to
social
even
media.
If you call me, yeah, I've been, people could tag me and then I have to clarify. People throw things on you. Oh, you stole this money. Oh, you have this money. Now, if it is Mariam, I look at Mariam's content. I'll be like, now with
She's worth a response.
yeah, with 1,000 followers, I think it is important that I clarify this. But when I find that you have about, I'm like, no, I don't have time.
So
But
are you responding based on numbers or what the content? Is it quantity over quality?
why am I so concerned about numbers? Because it is not every day that people follow people for nothing. So there is a reason why this person has 40,000 numbers.
Can
That
we
you
put
cannot
it quickly?
ignore.
Can we put it back to the guru here? A numbers king when it comes to social media,
Yeah.
therefore social capital. Let's see because he does this for a living.
yes, they are crucial because as she said, people follow something that they're really interested in. If you're posting things that people like, of course they will have to follow to get more updates. So I believe they matter. But at some point, me, I want to speak for people who are not on social media, but they're good at social networking and they have great networks that you admire to tap into.
Okay.
So they matter at some point, but also we should not only just leverage on social media to build our social capital.
social capital.
Yes.
So you can find a balance where your social media is backed up by authentic, deep, quality work or service delivery.
Yes, or conversations
so that
you have
after
with
we
people.
see you with 1,000 followers, when we come to you, when you come to FLI, we really deliver on giving
Yes,
you
yes.
products that are faithful, available, and teachable.
Yes,
So-
there are some people even who are so good at building networks online. They have great conversations. They are good at writing, really
But they're not
communicating.
good at social
But you meet
network.
them personally, so horrible.
Okay.
They are all on their phones. And I've met those people. So I majorly focus on those one-on-one conversations when I meet people.
Okay.
Feeling, okay, who
So
are you?
there are lanes, like you said, these are streets. We have the way you learn how to cross the road. If you're building social capital and using social media, then you have to learn how to walk the lanes and cross them so that you get to where you want to go. Thank you so much. This is an interesting discussion. We've talked about networks, social capital, socialization, personality types. We are talking with social entrepreneurs. Some who are born in the AI generation and those who are learning, and the rest of us
She's
who are
also in the
adapting.
AI generation.
So-
I don't think she's
I wish we had more time, but we'll take another fun segment before we dive into the last one. I think this was a conversation that was worth having at such a time.
Yeah.
So I'll start with Bakash this time.
Yeah, man.
So for the fun segment, if you're stuck on an island, tell us with whom or with what you'd choose. One thing, one person, and maybe why.
Whom?
With whom or with what?
I think my girlfriend or wife.
Nice.
Then another one
A
was
what, a who and a what, and maybe why.
a what in terms of
A thing that's not a person.
music.
Music, your playlist and your girlfriend. You'll
Yeah.
survive.
Yes, I'm a lover of music.
I asked what's on your playlist, you didn't tell us. Are you going to tell us now?
Later. We'll have
Later,
to-
off air. Okay, that's all right. So Bakash would be stuck with his babe and a nice playlist, Jackie. What would the CEO be stuck with on an island? A thing and a person.
I don't know. It's hard because I think a thing that I would is water. I love
Water. She loves water.
Yeah, so I would love.
But I believe the island is on a lake, so if you don't carry the water,
it
you
might be salty. The water might be salty. So
family, because I mean
It
family
can
is
be a
everything.
sticky one, like we said.
Yeah, and
They can
because
make you or break you.
yes, they can, but I think on a bigger perspective, the family makes you. I remember in 2019 when I was registering the company that I run now. It was in 2020, in fact, because we started in 2019, then registered in 2020. I didn't have the USB money to pay to be registered. So I had to call my brother. All the career events that we did at university were paid by my brother. Even the school fees at some point.
May I be a devil's advocate for a second? What if he wasn't the type who says, we've sent you to school, we sold our cows only for you to do this social media thing? They didn't believe that
they are there, and don't. He's one in the family, I mean. So there are, of course, those who disagree.
Who disagree and say, we've sent you to be a lawyer, now you're doing this.
Yes, my father personally disagreed with what I'm starting out, like career guidance. Whom are you guiding, or something like that?
You even have no career yourself.
So you're at university and you're guiding people. So they disagree, but also for your good.
Okay.
For your good, not in a bad way.
You agree that family is the starting point for social capital?
Everything, all I've been doing. First people I inform, or for us who are not married, I can't inform, I don't have a wife or someone I can really ask before. So all I'm accountable to is family first.
Accountability purposes?
Is family. If I do anything bad, people I'm accountable to are family. Of course, I have the friends, Jackie's around, but they will come in later. I may not even tell Jackie, but the family knows to the core, everything. Okay. So you're accountable to your family first, then the rest can
Thank you very much. Now, Jackie, over to you.
Yeah, well, to me, I think, let me first also clarify this from my side. Social capital is totally different from social media. And when it comes to family, I want you to know that family will help you to know which lanes to stick to. That is the same way you see you're in a family, there is the rich auntie, there is the rich uncle,
the religious one.
Yeah, the poor ones, the ones, you know. So it helps you to navigate one discipline, to respect the ones that don't have, to respect the ones that have, but also to be on the begging side, to be with the ones, to be in the circles of the ones that have. Why am I saying this? When you're going back to the village, Christmas is here. If you've been indisciplined, it will be hard for you, difficult for you, if you've not been in touch with your rich auntie, to ask for a lift to your village right now. Now that is the same thing with social capital. You keep people close.
For different reasons. And auntie may not have the money, but they keep you accountable because they hold you to the values of your family.
What I'm trying to say is that family will teach you to navigate around when it comes to also social capital. Number two, family also teaches you. Some of us in Western
Solomon. Sound wa Jackie avavako. Ababiri tumanyi. Ama mukore. Akadeo. That's talking extreme.